Hi everyone, if you're struggling not getting success, then this video is for you. Nowadays, there's one truth in life that nobody can change. Your success is in your hands. It is not in the hands of luck. The only person who has the power to decide your future is you. But the question is, do you believe in yourself? Today, we'll talk about it. My name is Muniba Mazari, and I'm a motivational speaker. If you find this video fruitful, then you can appreciate me by like and subscribe and start a new journey with me. Let's start the topic. There will be times in your life when the world feels silent, when the cheers fade, when the applause stops, when no one notices your struggles or your victories. You might feel invisible, forgotten, like your pain and your dreams belong only to you. And here's the truth. Sometimes nobody will care. Not because they don't have hearts, but because everyone is busy fighting their own battles. Everyone has their own storms to weather. Sometimes life places us in moments where it feels like the whole world is moving around us, but no one truly sees what we are going through. You might be fighting battles that are invisible to the outside eye, enduring pain silently, or pushing yourself toward dreams that feel far away and unattainable. It's in these moments when your struggles are hidden behind a smile or your tears fall in solitude that you realize sometimes nobody will notice your struggles or victories. It's not because your experience isn't important or your efforts are meaningless. It's simply because the world doesn't always have the time, space, or understanding to fully witness your journey. In a world where everyone is wrapped up in their own challenges and stories, it's easy to feel invisible, unnoticed, or unappreciated. You might share your struggles, hoping for empathy or support, but all you get is silence or distraction. You might reach for a helping hand or a word of encouragement, but the response is often delayed or absent. This can be deeply painful, especially when your heart is raw and your spirit feels fragile. But the truth is, your value and your strength are not dependent on the attention or recognition of others. When no one notices your struggles, it can feel isolating. It's as if you're carrying a heavy load alone in a crowded room where everyone is talking, but no one is really listening. This silence can make you question yourself, your worth, and your purpose. You may wonder if your pain matters or if your efforts will ever bear fruit. Yet, it is precisely in these moments of invisibility that your inner resilience begins to grow. When the world doesn't notice, you learn to see yourself in a new light, to become your own witness and supporter. There is a powerful lesson in realizing that not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone is equipped to hold your pain or celebrate your victories. And that is okay. You are not responsible for the awareness or compassion of others. What matters is how you hold yourself through these times. How you show up for yourself when no one else does. How you cultivate a deep well of self, love, kindness, and patience to draw from when the world feels distant. Your struggles are valid, even when they go unseen. Your victories are meaningful, even when they are not applauded. Every step you take forward, no matter how small or unnoticed, is a triumph of your spirit. When you accept that sometimes nobody will notice your struggles or victories, you free yourself from the need for external validation. You start to value your journey for what it truly is, a sacred process of growth and healing that belongs to you alone. In these quiet battles, you develop strength that cannot be shaken by outside opinions. You build a foundation of courage that is rooted not in the approval of others, but in the deep knowing of your own worth. This kind of strength is rare and precious because it comes from surviving in the silence, from believing in yourself, even when the world does not. It teaches you that you are enough exactly as you are without needing anyone else to confirm it. When the world doesn't notice, you learn to become your own champion. You become the one who celebrates your progress, comforts your pain, and cheers you on through every challenge. This self-reliance is not about closing off from others, but about finding an unshakable source of support within yourself. It is about recognizing that your journey is unique and no one else can walk it for you. The experience of feeling unseen can also inspire empathy and compassion. And when you have walked through moments where no one noticed your struggles, you develop a deeper understanding of others who may be facing similar invisibility. You learn to look beyond the surface and offer kindness to those who may be suffering silently. This empathy becomes a bridge that connects you to the world in a more meaningful way, even when the world itself feels distant. Sometimes, the lack of recognition forces you to slow down and listen more carefully to your own heart. It invites you to focus inward and discover the strength, wisdom, and love that reside within you. It calls you to be patient with yourself, to honor your own pace, and to trust that every hardship is shaping you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. No one else's eyes or words can define your journey or diminish your worth. Your story is yours to hold, cherish, and honor, regardless of who notices. When the world fails to see your battles or your triumphs, remember that you are still fighting. You are still growing. You are still becoming who you are meant to be, even in the quiet and the unseen. Everyone you meet is carrying a story you may never fully understand. Behind every smile, every calm exterior, and every busy day, there are battles being fought. Some visible, many hidden deep inside. We often forget that everyone we encounter is dealing with their own challenges, struggles, and pain. This truth can be hard to accept, especially when we feel alone in our difficulties or when we expect others to notice and support us. But the reality is that everyone is busy fighting their own battles. Life is a complex journey for all of us, filled with moments of joy and sorrow, hope and despair, strength and vulnerability. When you pause to reflect, you realize that no one is exempt from hardship. It's not just you who wakes up some mornings feeling overwhelmed or uncertain. It's not just you who carries wounds that others may never see. It's not just you who experiences the silent battles of fear, doubt, and insecurity. Everyone you know, and many you don't, are navigating their own storms. This understanding is crucial because it shifts the way we see ourselves and others. When you realize that everyone is fighting their own battles, it becomes clear why sometimes people don't respond the way you expect. They might seem distant, distracted, or unavailable. not because they don't care, but because they are wrapped up in their own struggles. This isn't a reflection of your worth or your importance. It's a reminder of the shared human experience of carrying unseen burdens. Recognizing that others have their own battles helps cultivate empathy. It allows you to soften your judgment of those who seem cold or indifferent. It helps you understand that their behavior might be shaped by pain or exhaustion rather than a lack of love or concern. This perspective can transform how you relate to others, making space for compassion instead of resentment or disappointment. At the same time, knowing that everyone is fighting their own battles invites you to be gentle with yourself. When you feel overwhelmed or lonely, it's comforting to remember that you are not alone in facing challenges. Your difficulties are part of the universal human experience. This awareness can reduce feelings of isolation and remind you that strength often grows from shared vulnerability. This truth also teaches patience. When people around you are not able to give you the support or attention you need, it is often because they are managing their own hardships. Patience with others becomes an act of kindness, both to them and to yourself. It allows you to accept that sometimes the timing is not right for the connection or validation you seek. In this shared struggle, there is also an opportunity for growth. Facing your battles while recognizing that others face theirs can inspire resilience. It reminds you that hardship is not unique to you and that many have walked difficult paths before. This can give you hope and courage to continue, knowing that you are part of a broader human story of overcoming adversity. At times, it may feel like you must carry your burdens alone, but understanding that everyone is in a fight of their own can also encourage seeking community and support. It reminds you that while everyone has battles, we don't have to face them entirely in isolation. Sharing your story and listening to others can build connection and healing, even when words are hard to find. Acknowledging this truth about human experience helps redefine expectations. Instead of expecting constant support or understanding from others, you begin to focus on cultivating inner strength and resilience. You learn to hold space for your own pain and progress without depending solely on external validation. This shift empowers you to take ownership of your journey while still appreciating the interconnectedness of human life. When you see life through this lens, you realize that everyone is doing their best to survive and thrive despite the challenges they face. It becomes easier to forgive shortcomings in others and to forgive yourself when you struggle. This awareness nurtures compassion and humility, reminding you that no one is perfect and everyone deserves grace. The idea that everyone is fighting their own battles is a call to kindness to others and to yourself. It asks you to be patient when support feels scarce, to be understanding when people fall short, and to be loving even when the world feels indifferent. It invites you to remember that behind every face, there is a story of courage and struggle, and that your own story is a vital part of the human experience. Your dreams and growth are your responsibility. This simple truth holds so much power, yet it is often the hardest for us to fully embrace. It means that no matter what happens around you, no matter who supports you or who doesn't, the direction of your life depends largely on the choices you make and the actions you take. It means that the seeds of your future are planted in the soil of your own determination, discipline, and faith. No one else can walk your path for you. No one else can carry the weight of your hopes and ambitions, and no one else can decide how far you will go. When you accept that your dreams and growth are your responsibility, you shift from a mindset of waiting to a mindset of creating. Waiting for the right time, the right person, or the right opportunity can trap you in a cycle of inaction and disappointment. But taking responsibility for your dreams means you become the artist of your own life, actively shaping and crafting the story you want to live. It means showing up every day with intention, even when the road is difficult or the outcomes are uncertain. Owning your responsibility is also about recognizing that growth often requires discomfort. It means stepping into challenges, facing fears, and pushing beyond what feels safe or easy. Growth does not happen in comfort zones. It happens when you dare to stretch yourself, to learn from failures, and to keep going despite setbacks. This journey can be lonely and exhausting, but it is a path only you can walk with authenticity. No one else can take your place in this process because your growth is deeply personal. It's not a competition or a race. It's a unique journey that reflects your values, your passions, and your purpose. Others may offer guidance, encouragement, or advice, but the responsibility to act on these things rests with you. When you make your growth your own responsibility, you empower yourself to take control of your life instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances. This responsibility also calls for self-discipline and commitment. Dreams without action remain dreams. Growth without effort remains stagnant. You have to be willing to put in the work day after day, even when motivation fades or obstacles arise. It's about cultivating habits that nurture your mind, body, and spirit. It's about investing in yourself through learning, reflection, and self-care. It's about being patient with the process and trusting that each step forward, no matter how small, matters. Taking responsibility for your dreams means you also have to be honest with yourself. You need to look at your life with clarity and courage, identifying what's helping you grow and what might be holding you back. It requires reflection on your choices, your mindset, and sometimes letting go of things or people that no longer serve your highest good. This honesty is not always easy, but it is essential for genuine progress. In owning your growth, you also accept that setbacks are part of the journey. Failure is not a sign that you should give up. It's an opportunity to learn and to grow stronger. When you take responsibility for your dreams, you learn resilience. You develop the ability to adapt and persevere because you know the destination is worth the struggle. You learn to celebrate progress, no matter how incremental, and to be kind to yourself when the path feels rough. Your dreams and growth belong to you, and that truth is both liberating and empowering. It means that you hold the power to change your story, to rewrite the chapters that no longer serve you, and to create a future filled with purpose and fulfillment. When you step fully into this responsibility, you are no longer waiting for life to happen. You are making life happen. This mindset invites you to trust your inner wisdom and to have faith in your capacity to overcome challenges. It asks you to become proactive, to seek opportunities for growth, and to surround yourself with people and environments that support your vision. Taking responsibility for your dreams is not about carrying the burden alone. It's about owning your role in your journey while remaining open to connection and support. As you embrace this truth, you begin to understand that your growth is a lifelong journey. It's not something that happens overnight or in a straight line. It is a continuous process of learning, evolving, and becoming. The responsibility you take today plants the foundation for a future where your dreams are more than wishes. They are lived realities. There is a quiet, persistent voice inside each of us, a voice that refuses to be silenced no matter how loud the world around us becomes. This inner voice is a source of strength, courage, and truth. It carries the essence of who we are, the dreams we hold, and the hope that keeps us moving forward. When life gets hard, when the noise of doubt and fear threatens to drown us out, it is this voice that calls us back to ourselves. Doing it for this inner voice means honoring the part of you that refuses to give up, the part that believes in your worth even when others do not see it. This voice may sometimes be faint, whispering softly in moments of stillness. At other times, it can roar with passion and determination. Regardless of its volume, it demands to be heard because it carries the deepest truths of your heart. It tells you that your life matters, that your dreams are valid, and that you deserve love and happiness. Listening to this voice requires courage because it often asks you to take the harder path, to choose authenticity over approval, and to embrace vulnerability rather than hide behind masks. When you do it for the inner voice that refuses to be silenced, you begin to trust yourself in ways you never have before. You learn to recognize your own needs and desires separate from the expectations or judgments of others. This process is liberating because it frees you from the constant need for external validation. You realize that your worth is not measured by the applause of the crowd or the approval of others, but by the quiet assurance that you are living true to yourself. This inner voice also serves as a compass, guiding you through uncertainty and confusion. Life often presents challenges that leave us feeling lost or overwhelmed. In those moments, the voice within can be a steady presence, reminding you of your values and your purpose. It encourages you to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. It helps you make decisions that align with your authentic self rather than choices based on fear or the desire to please others. Honoring this voice means giving yourself permission to be imperfect and to make mistakes. It means understanding that growth and healing are messy and nonlinear. Your inner voice does not demand perfection. It asks only for honesty and bravery. It invites you to show up for yourself with compassion, even when you stumble or fall short. When you do it for this voice, you cultivate resilience because you are rooted in a deep sense of self-acceptance. This voice is also a source of creativity and inspiration. It sparks ideas, passions, and dreams that may have been buried beneath the noise of daily life or the weight of others' expectations. When you listen to this voice, you tap into a wellspring of energy and motivation that fuels your journey. It encourages you to take risks, to express your true self, and to pursue what brings you joy and meaning. Doing it for this voice means embracing solitude at times, not as loneliness, but as a sacred space for reflection and connection with your inner self. It is in moments of quiet that you can hear this voice most clearly. These moments allow you to reconnect with your purpose, realign your priorities, and renew your commitment to your dreams. When you make your decisions and take your steps for the sake of this voice, you begin to live with greater integrity. Your actions reflect your deepest values, and your life becomes a reflection of your true essence. This authenticity attracts the right people and opportunities into your life, creating a ripple effect of positivity and growth. Your inner voice is a reminder that you are more than your circumstances, your mistakes, or the opinions of others. It is the part of you that knows your potential and calls you to rise again and again. Listening and doing it for this voice is an act of self-love and empowerment that transforms your relationship with yourself and the world around you. By choosing to honor this voice, you declare that your journey matters and that you are worthy of the dreams you hold. This decision strengthens your spirit and gives you the courage to face whatever comes next with grace and determination. Stop seeking approval. Start honoring your worth. This is one of the most transformative shifts you can make in your life. For so long, many of us live in a pattern of trying to please others, hoping to gain acceptance, and seeking validation from outside sources. We chase likes, compliments, and recognition as if they define our value. But the truth is, when your sense of worth depends on others' approval, you give away your power. You allow your happiness and confidence to be controlled by forces beyond your control, leaving you vulnerable and often disappointed. The journey toward honoring your worth begins with the realization that you are inherently valuable simply because you exist. Your worth is not earned by achievements, appearance, or the approval of others. It is a birthright, a truth that is constant and unchanging. When you start to accept this, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of people pleasing and self-doubt. You stop bending yourself into shapes that fit others' expectations and start standing tall in your own truth. Seeking approval often comes from a place of fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, or fear of loneliness. These fears are powerful, but they are not stronger than your ability to choose differently. Honoring your worth means choosing to believe in yourself even when the world is silent or critical. It means affirming your value through your words, actions, and self-care. It means learning to be your own biggest supporter and recognizing that the relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. When you stop seeking approval, you create space for authentic living. You begin to make choices based on what truly aligns with your values, dreams, and needs not on what will please others or gain their acceptance. This authenticity is magnetic because it invites genuine connections, not superficial approval. People are drawn to those who are real, who have the courage to be vulnerable and honest. By honoring your worth, you also teach others how to treat you and set healthy boundaries that protect your peace. Honoring your worth is an act of self-respect. It means prioritizing your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. It means saying no when something doesn't serve you, and yes when it nurtures your growth. This may feel uncomfortable at first because it challenges old habits and fears, but it is necessary for lasting change. When you honor your worth, you build resilience and confidence that are not shaken by external circumstances or opinions. This shift also transforms how you handle criticism and rejection. Instead of internalizing negativity or trying to fix yourself to please others, you develop a grounded sense of self that can withstand challenges. You learn to separate constructive feedback from harmful judgment and to trust your own inner guidance above all else. This clarity brings peace because you no longer live in constant worry about what others think. Honoring your worth is a journey of self-discovery. It invites you to explore your strengths, passions, and purpose without shame or hesitation. It encourages you to celebrate your uniqueness and to embrace your imperfections as part of your beauty. When you start to value yourself fully, you open the door to personal growth and deeper fulfillment. In a world that often tries to tell you who you should be, choosing to honor your worth is a revolutionary act. It is a declaration that you will no longer let others define you or your potential. It is a commitment to nurture your spirit and to cultivate a life that reflects your true essence. This choice is not about arrogance or selfishness. It is about recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup. When you honor your worth, you replenish your energy and joy, allowing you to give more authentically to others without losing yourself. It is the foundation for a balanced and meaningful life. As you stop seeking approval and start honoring your worth, you will notice a profound shift in your relationships, your mindset, and your overall well-being. You will find freedom in being unapologetically you, and you will inspire others to do the same. This transformation begins with a single step: choosing to see yourself as worthy, regardless of what anyone else thinks or says. Choosing yourself first is not selfish. It is necessary. In a world that often praises self-sacrifice and putting others before yourself, it can feel uncomfortable or even wrong to prioritize your own needs and well-being. But the truth is, if you don't choose yourself, no one else will do it for you in the way you truly need. Choosing yourself first means recognizing that your health, happiness, and growth are the foundation for everything else in your life. Without that foundation, it becomes impossible to show up fully for others or pursue your dreams with clarity and strength. When you choose yourself first, you are setting a powerful example of self-respect and self-love. You are sending a message to the world, and most importantly to yourself, that you are worthy of care, attention, and kindness. This choice helps dismantle the belief that you must always put others ahead of yourself to be good or valuable. Instead, it affirms that your life and your needs matter just as much as anyone else's. This doesn't mean ignoring others or acting selfishly. It means creating a healthy balance where you nurture your own well-being while still being present and compassionate toward those you care about. It's about understanding that your cup must be full in order to pour into the lives of others effectively. When you neglect yourself, you risk burnout, resentment, and loss of joy. Choosing yourself first helps prevent this by honoring your limits and prioritizing your needs. Choosing yourself first also means making choices that align with your true self rather than what others expect or demand from you. It requires courage to say no to situations, relationships, or commitments that drain your energy or compromise your values. It calls for honesty with yourself about what you want and need and the willingness to advocate for those things, even when it's difficult. This is a radical act of empowerment because it shifts the control of your life back into your hands. This practice nurtures resilience and inner strength. When you consistently choose yourself, you develop a clearer sense of identity and purpose. You become less reactive to external pressures and more grounded in your own truth. This stability helps you navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence because you know you have prioritized your well-being and made choices that support your growth. Choosing yourself first can also deepen your relationships. When you care for yourself, you bring your best, most authentic self to others. You are more present, patient, and loving because you are not depleted or distracted by unmet needs. This does not mean relationships become self-centered. Rather, they become healthier and more reciprocal because both parties respect and honor their own and each other's boundaries. It's important to recognize that choosing yourself first is a journey, not a one-time decision. It requires ongoing attention and practice. Some days you will do it effortlessly, and other days it will feel like a struggle. This is normal because changing deeply ingrained patterns takes time and compassion. What matters is your commitment to keep coming back to yourself and prioritizing your well-being consistently. This choice also involves forgiveness, both of yourself and others. You may carry guilt or shame for wanting to put yourself first, especially if you've been conditioned to believe that your needs are less important. Let go of those feelings. Choosing yourself first is an act of love, not selfishness. Forgive yourself for past neglect and choose to honor your worth today. Similarly, forgive those who may not understand your need to prioritize yourself. Their reactions do not diminish the validity of your choice. Choosing yourself first strengthens your voice and your boundaries. It empowers you to say no without fear, to ask for what you need, and to walk away from what no longer serves you. It builds confidence in your ability to care for yourself and to create a life that reflects your true desires. This empowerment ripples out into every area of your life, transforming how you relate to yourself and the world. In a culture that often encourages self-neglect, choosing yourself first is a courageous declaration of self-love and self-respect. It invites you to become your own advocate and to build a life rooted in your truth. When you consistently choose yourself, you lay the groundwork for a life filled with purpose, joy, and meaningful connection.